is our council president, Ida Nieves. To my right is one of our councilmen, Scott Burns, and another one of our council persons, Hakeem Boyd. So I thank you all for being here. The purpose of this press conference is to share with you some basics of the situation that obviously has occurred. The Inspector General released his video footage in a brief statement today, and I'm just going to have some remarks in support of what was released today. I want to preface this with saying that this investigation from the beginning has been at the direction of the Inspector General's office, so I cannot comment on the particulars into this investigation. This will be, from this point, from the beginning of this situation to the conclusion, any information regarding the particulars of the investigation will come from the Inspector General's office, not the Bridgeport Police Department. That was put in place by our legislators, I believe in 2018, to create impartiality, and so there's no atmosphere or specter of any conflicts of interest. So all that will come from them. We will direct you to their PIO person if you need to, but that will all come from them. So I'm going to read a prepared statement and a few comments, and I may or may not be able to take a couple of questions, but I'll let you know. So good afternoon. Earlier today, the Office of the Inspector General released video footage related to an officer-involved shooting that resulted in the loss of life. First and foremost, I want to express my deepest condolences to the family and loved ones of Daisheen Best. Any loss of life is tragedy, and I know this situation has deeply affected our entire community. The Bridgeport Police Department is fully cooperating with the Inspector General's independent investigation. We believe in accountability and transparency, and we are committed to ensuring that all of the facts are reviewed fairly and thoroughly. I also want to acknowledge the officers involved in this situation and my police department. Police work is unpredictable, and officers are often faced with split-second decisions in difficult situations. As a standard protocol, the officer has been placed on administrative leave while the investigation is conducted. This is a challenging time for everyone, and I ask for patience as the process unfolds. And I want to reiterate that. I ask for patience from the community and everyone involved as this process unfolds. The releasing of this video and the statement is just the beginning. This is a process that's going to take some time. I want to take a moment to address something important. In today's world, information spreads fast, sometimes too fast. Misinformation, speculation, and hurtful comments on social media don't just affect the department, they impact the victim's family, the officer, and the entire community. I urge everyone to be mindful of the weight of words. This is a time for respect, for allowing the facts to come to light, and for supporting one another rather than dividing. Like every police department in Connecticut, the Bridgeport Police Department, we follow the state use of force policy, which sets strict guidelines on when and how force can be used. This investigation will determine whether those guidelines were followed, and we will continue to be as open as possible while ensuring the process remains fair and impartial. I know people have concerns and questions, and we are committed to keeping the lines of communication open as much as we could with the constraints that are put upon us in this situation. Our priority is always the safety and well-being of this community, and we will continue to work to build trust and serve with integrity. So obviously the ultimate decider of this situation, whether this is a justified or non-justified shooting, will come from the Inspector General's office. That will come from them. So regardless of the opinions of any of us, they will have the ultimate say in determining whether this was a justified or non-justified shooting. But I want to say that I've been involved in law enforcement for 33, 34 years with the Bridgeport Police Department and a total of roughly 38 years of law enforcement experience. And what I viewed on the video, as I know use of force, as I know training, appears to be in line with the training and what the use of force policy set forth. But again, that ultimate decision comes from the Inspector General's office, not me. With that, I don't know if our council president wants to say a couple of words.
Thank you, Chief. On behalf of the mayor and the city of Bridgeport, we do call for patience, and we thank the residents who, at this time, during their time of pain and grief and confusion of not having all of the information, have shown a level of civility where we have seen civil unrest in other communities. So I thank the community, our community leaders, our religious community, and our city leaders who have helped call any type of situation, along with the chief, who has remained an open door policy with those that have had questions or want to come to speak to him. But again, as the chief said, we ask for patience and due process. And the city of Bridgeport has a really good police academy where we've been retraining, and other officers from throughout the state have been trained in our police academy. So it speaks to the level of integrity and the training and retraining that has happened here in the city of Bridgeport. And I ask that, again, everyone remain calm, let the information please flow out. And if you have a question, the chief cannot answer every question that you may have, but he is ensuring that transparency out of his office is first and foremost. Thank you.
Scott, anything you want to say? Thank you. Thank you. So a couple of things that I've done at the outset of this, I just want to mention that, is that, so this happened Monday night. Tuesday morning, I met with the family and other community members as it related to this. Yesterday, I met with some of our clergy members. I met with some of our council members. So we've been as transparent in offering as much support and help that we can, with the limitations that are placed upon us because of the Inspector General's investigation. So with that, I'll take a couple of questions if I can, but again, remind everyone that I'm not at liberty to talk about the investigation. I want to remind everyone that the Inspector General's office has a site where they have posted the video as well as a brief statement. I saw you first.
Hi, Brianna Gertullo from the Connecticut Post.
Hi, Brianna.
You mentioned that in your experience in law enforcement, you watched the video, and from what you could tell, it seems that policies towards use of force were followed. Could you elaborate on that a little, and what you saw in the video that made you think that?
No, I can't elaborate anymore because I don't want to interfere with the investigation. Just like everyone else, I viewed it and I had an opinion, but that will come, again, the ultimate decision will come from the Inspector General's office, and they will be the final determinant of whether it was a justified or non-justified shooting. And we will respect whatever decision that comes from the Inspector General's office. Doing it local.
How many years experience did that officer have?
Oh, geez, I knew that. I believe roughly under 2 years. Under 2 years.
What did Mr. Best's family say to you on Tuesday when you talked to him?
I'll keep that conversation between me and the family members.
So, sorry, Greg Thompson from News 12.
Hi.
I mean, if you can't necessarily get into specifics of this case, can you share sort of what the protocol and what the training says in a situation such as that, when an potentially armed suspect is fleeing away from an officer into an area that looks like it might be a little bit of a dead end? What does the training protocol say?
Yeah, so all that's going to be a part of the investigation, and I don't want to interfere with the investigation because that'll be a part of the investigation, I believe.
How are the officers doing? Obviously, when they go through something like this, it must be, tough on them, especially the officer who had to, fire their weapon.
Yeah, thank you for asking. That's a really good question. I appreciate that. So, yeah, they are receiving the support of the department and resources that we have for them. And, this is a traumatic situation, not something that one would want to happen. But we are supporting them, and they are receiving resources and support from the department.
And do you anticipate that that male officer will be on leave until the investigation is over?
That's generally how it works. Yeah.
So potentially for a year?
Hopefully it won't take that long.
Chief, how many officers are on leave actually now?
So there was one officer who was involved in the shooting, so he's involved as it relates to the shooting. And, yeah, that one officer is relates to the shooting.
And were the tasers, how many taser shots were they?
So again, that's a part of the investigation, and I can't comment on that. So.
Chief, while the officer is on leave, will he be paid?
Yeah, it's paid administratively. That's per our union contract.
Do you have a message to the community, and especially those who see this as a reason to be fearful of police?
Yeah, so I think we've kind of touched on that a little bit, and I'm glad you asked that question. So I think that in the 2+ years that I've been the police chief, we've done a lot to mend some of the negativity towards the community and the police. And I would just say, give us patience. Look at the work that we've done over the last 2+ years. Look at the work that the administration is doing to really bring the community and the police together. Look at the engagement efforts that we've done in the Bridgeport Police Department the last couple of years. Look at the outreach efforts that we've done in the community the last few years. And let's not forget those things, and we really need to build upon those. And like I said, regardless of how the situation turns out, we'll accept and respect that decision. But yeah, I want the community to know that we are still a professional police department that operates with integrity and honesty, and we try and be as transparent as we possibly can be. And yeah, we support the community, and I believe and hope that the community continues to support us.
Can you explain what the public opinion has been of this incident before the video has come out?
I really don't follow social media and things of that nature, so obviously there's concern, I understand that, and questions, that's why we ask for patience. So, you know, the public opinion and those concerns are justified, and hopefully this video and this statement from them will provide some level of information, and again, we just have to wait for the Inspector General's office to complete their thorough investigation.
Chief, can you just talk again, why is it important for the community to be patient in times like this?
Well, because these are processes, and you know, this was put in place by our legislators several years ago, so it can be fair and we get to the just and correct conclusion. We don't want to rush and get to an incorrect conclusion, or you know, have misinformation out there. So I would please ask everyone to just trust the process and you know, let the process play out. Okay.
What kind of pressure has this put on the regular patrol officers now?
Another good question, because you know, when things like this happen, it affects the entire police department, not just the officers involved. But you know, we have a strong police department. We have a very professional police department. We have very good police officers, and they're resilient. And you know, they'll be okay. And you know, we'll be okay. We'll get through this. But you know, we need the community support too, as well as our administration and our elected officials as well. But yeah, it does put a strain on the department to some degree. But we have resilient police officers, and they're professional and they're good. Okay, that's it. Again, thank you for coming. We have, if you've not seen a video, we could show it, and if you like, or you could just watch it on your own. So with that, thank you for coming, and have a good day.
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks for the support. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah.
Like I said, there has been no risk of unrest, so that means that the open door policy is working.
Knock on wood. All righty.
So true, so true.
Here you go,
Thank you
Sean.
again.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right.
Get this right out of your way.
WSHU.